keep up with you, Tom.
I don't have a sharp edge on me.
I'm not gonna feel to find out.
Let me get your music started.
Get the music started, Gene.
Very straightforward and round.
Okay, and I am going to share on a friend's timeline.
I have to get this off my chest. Studio from Hamilton Radio Studios in beautiful Robbinsville, New Jersey, comes Funny Talk with Mangelli and Max, with your hosts Tom Mangelli and Doug Max.
That's me.
That's him.
That's me.
I just said that.
No, you said that's him.
That's you.
Okay.
All right. So, Funny Talk with Mangelli and Max airs the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. I thought I'd repeat that.
And the second and fourth Tuesday of every month?
The second and fourth Tuesday, and also the sixth Wednesday. But we won't talk about that. So, welcome to Funny Talk with Mangelli.
Welcome, everyone. We're very excited for our show. Okay, we're done with the preliminary setting up, I believe.
I think so.
I feel like
we have something special this
we have actually.
episode.
I'm really excited about the beginning.
That's
part
what
of
I'm
our
worried
show.
about, John. What's your name?
Doug.
Doug. Thank you. John?
I'm your partner.
How did I get your name wrong? I called him John after a bathroom.
It's okay, Don. It's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
So
well,
anyway,
I'm very excited for our show too.
I can tell.
But you should be more excited.
The camera doesn't show under the table. I can see. So anyway, last episode we had a segment called Win a Date with Tom Mangelli. And if you were wondering, I'm Tom Mangelli. And we had people send emails to
crazy people.
Crazy emails. They sent emails, and we narrowed down the field, and we actually chose one lucky winner.
It was not easy to pick a winner. There were some very, very strong entries.
And we're going to actually read the emails to you over the airwaves tonight. And we did pick a winner. She's not able to call in tonight.
We already gave it away that it was a she, but it's okay.
Why would that even be a question? I mean, do I give that vibe?
No, not at all. But we should be gender neutral and respectful.
All
People
right.
don't know what you're into.
You be gender neutral on your dates.
Okay, well, that's why it's taken me so. That's why it took me years and years. Oh, now I'm gonna cry. Okay, and this is a happy time. So yeah, we're ladies in particular. We're really, really pleased that so many of you wrote such sincere letters to us. And I'm gonna call up. We're gonna read some of these letters for you online.
Why don't we do that now?
Okay.
Doc, why don't you put up the first email? Any time now. Oh, you're putting it on the TV. Okay. So this one is
That'll be big enough for nobody to.
Flea Market 99. Do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'll do this. Flea Market 99, and we kind of already know where this is going to go, but we're going to pretend. Hello. She writes to Tom. I'm a lonely widow, and I would like to be chosen for the Win a Date contest with Tom Mangello. I never heard, misspelled, of this guy, but he got a job, a car, and all of his teeth. That's good enough for me. Can I say this is also a woman that obviously listened to our show? Where she did.
Yes, she did.
I've been on my own for 9 years, and I'm not getting any younger. Sure, I may not be the prettiest girl in the trailer park, but I've been losing weight. No, losing weight. Not weight. Losing weight. And you can hardly notice my hump when I wear a sweater. I don't know if that's... I never won anything excepting that gift card for Walmart at the church tricky tray last year.
She spells it Walmart.
Walmart. Accepting that gift card for Walmart. Could that be another store?
No.
At the church
did you miss the trailer
last
park part?
Please pick me. Flea Market 99. Tom, I'm getting mixed.
Well,
we already know
First of all, if she's a widow and she's not getting any younger, I picture her, smelling of tapioca and lost hope. So I don't know.
We have a caller on the air, so hello, caller. You're on with Mangelli and Max. Who's calling?
Yeah. Am I calling too soon?
Yeah, who is this? You are calling too soon, but we'll talk to you.
This is Max.
Hey, Max. It's never too soon.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, comic legend, brilliant comedian, Max Dolcelli. Nice of you to call in for us.
Welcome, Max.
Now, who am I talking to?
This
now?
is Tom. I'm the fat one.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Good. How are you?
And I'm Doug. I'm the other one. What am I?
Now-
If you're the fat one, what am I?
You're the thin one.
I'm not really. I'm a little overweight,
The
Tom.
fat and the thin one.
But I'm a
This is
little
Abbott and
overweight.
Costello.
Fat and skinny.
Hey, I'm fat!
Hey, that was pretty good. So,
Yeah.
Max,
Anyway, Max, listen, hold on. We're in the middle of, I don't know if you know this, but we had a contest for the ladies to write in and try to win a date with Tom Mangelli. So we're just announcing the winners. So if you want, you can listen in or you can call back in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes and we'll be done. But
10 minutes? Yeah, that's fine. You mean the winner actually gets a date,
And
or
we
does
call-
the loser get the date?
Yeah. We're calling him a winner.
No, the loser gets 2 dates.
All right,
Anyway.
I'll call back in 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
So, Flea Market 99, we appreciate your love and your entry. Just hold on, maybe we'll see.
All right, let's
We'll see how
let's
you
go
do.
to the next slide. Oh, Muscle Chick 123. You want me to read this one?
Go ahead.
Hey, so I just broke up with my guy. He was uber possessive and subject to roid rage without warning. I need a mellow dude to hang with. For this date, you'll have to pick me up at the gym, but I could spare an hour or two. Moose might follow us, but he usually doesn't break the restraining order. And in parentheses, you have medical insurance, right?
See, right away I don't like that because this woman is she's not serious about this.
I don't know. I mean, she could very well be serious. But
And she's got muscles,
she has muscles.
so that's probably
That makes
something
one of us.
useful.
But,
You've got muscles somewhere in there, Tom.
yeah, muscles fra diavolo. So, Muscle Chick
Okay.
was another entry.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, hold on, and I've got to call up the emails that I have, if I can find them.
now, Doc, you said you don't have Emo's side chick? All right, I'll read Emo's side chick without the visual. All right, this is from someone named Emo's side chick. She writes, bruh, comma, yeah, I want to win a date. Free food, yo. Maybe we go to Golden Corral or the Outback. What? My old man won't even know I'm gone, probably. We just gots to be back before the drugs wear off. Hit me up on the down low. Peace out. Emo side chick.
Okay, that's. Listen, just the name alone, that's screaming lucky.
That's just screaming.
Okay, so now this actually is a very sincere response that you got, dear Tom. I'm a 55-year-old divorcee looking for a good time, and you seem like you'd be fun. I see you like to eat, which is good because I'm a wonderful cook. Oi, can I make a brisket? Yes, I'm Jewish and I live in Long Island, but if you're going to annoy me with puns, I'll annoy you with my voice. I should read this like
She
you
obviously knows me.
I hope you like zoos because I'm told that talking with me is sort of like being in the Howler monkey exhibit. I don't think I'm that bad. If you pick me, I guarantee you a fun time. I'll bring the bagels if you bring the schmear. Esther. By the way, everyone says I don't look a day over 65.
Now, Esther is just an abbreviated name. She's actually polyester. Hyphenated.
A lot of people are going poly these days, and, it's something for you to think about. Be a little flexible.
Doc, you have another one you can pop up on the screen? Oh, you put one up already.
No. Here, I've got one other here.
All right, you do yours.
Dear Funny Talk, pick me. I haven't had a date in 20 years, so like you, I'm hungry. she put in quotes. I'll eat anything, Tom. Italian is my favorite. You're Italian, aren't you? I happen to love salsicci, if you know what I mean. And I know you do. Salsicci. She wrote salsicci.
All right.
I'll put the gaba in your ghoul. I'll be your strew in your strudella. Nothing better than a cream-filled cannoli. Hey, bada bing. She wrote that. Tom, this is a woman with...
Where's she from, Long Island?
Join me for a meal.
Staten Island, probably.
Tom, join me for a meal. It'll be on me. You'll find tartufo in my belly button.
Oh, my God, I love that.
But she put a smiley face after that. Tom, this is someone who seriously wants a date with you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Have you ever had belly button tartufo?
Not today.
Not today. You know something though?
I like that better than armpit tortoni, though. Can we get to the winning entry?
Yes, you want? I'm going to read it.
All right, you read the winning entry.
Now, and viewers, you should be looking at Tom's face as we read. We've already let up. You already ruined it. That this is the winning entry, and we'll have to review why we picked it. But hello, I am entering this contest because I want a date. The royal wedding has got me feeling lonely. I want to meet my own prince and live happily ever after. I haven't been on a date since Wills and Kate got married. If I don't get married soon, I don't know what I do. Pick me, please. And that's from DK.
Now, congratulations, DK. Let's all hear a round of applause.
Oh my God, D. I can tell you, I've been friends with Tom for a long time, and I've been out with him many times, and I am jealous of you having won the date.
Now, one of the reasons I picked D, I don't know if D's listening. I know she gets up early for work, so she may be asleep already. But she mentioned she's looking for her Prince, and Prince is a brand name of spaghetti. So...
You got her covered.
Yes.
You're bringing me spaghetti on the date, Tom?
My nickname is Al Dente.
Oh, my God. Anyway, listen, we've got callers on the line, so caller, please, if you're listening, please be patient with us.
Now, wait a minute.
I know, we might be another call.
We have to do this.
We have to do this.
Yes.
So we had such a hard time trying to figure out what would be an appropriate date for Tom to go on, and we could not decide. So we decided, like so much of love, let fate decide.
Why don't you first read
I'm going to.
this part, though?
Okay. So first of all, we had to go through some screening to come up with a serious date idea. One of the rejected ideas was what was it, Tom?
Hatchet throwing and Mongolian barbecue. That one didn't make the cut.
Yeah, I wonder why. Another one that didn't make the cut, and this one I can't figure out. Bungee jumping and an Ethiopian restaurant.
Come on. Ethiopian?
What?
And bungee jumping?
It's a restaurant. They're going to have food.
I'd have to change my name to Spot.
They make strong ropes. You're just frightened. A third date, rejected idea, rock climbing in a vegan buffet.
Yeah. Yeah. All you can eat quinoa? Come on. Look at me.
Tom, you look like an eggplant.
And rock climbing, can you imagine the gravity of that situation?
I don't want to talk about it. Okay, and then another rejected date idea was...
What does it say? I can't even read it. Crash someone's wedding reception and or funeral repast.
Yeah, good.
That would be fun.
Good idea to reject it. But, so, now we are going to spin. We've got our wheel, our pizza wheel of fate spinner. 4 options. So we are going to pick. And the options are... date destination number 1 would be Dave and Buster's in Wayne.
Right.
Date number 2, more nice, Point Pleasant Boardwalk in Point Pleasant.
Which would include sausage, peppers, and onion sandwich and the Jenkinson's Aquarium.
And ice cream, raw clams, and orangeade.
Right.
Etc.
Etc.
I don't know what the etc. is. If you win that,
Don't worry
D,
about the etc.
Number 3 you could win a date at the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City with a buffet and a comedy show and casino gambling.
Yes, because I am a degenerate gambler.
You gonna stake her $5 or something?
6.
6. And the final, number 4, Nicola's Italian Restaurant in Totowa, and dinner and drinks.
Drinks at
At the
Cubanelle nightclub,
Cubanelle
also in Totowa.
Sounds lovely. So Tom,
We're gonna spin
spin the
and
knife,
see
the pizza knife of fate.
what the winning date is. Number 3.
And it's number 3, the Borgata Casino.
in Atlantic City.
Congratulations,
Let's hear it for the
DK
Borgata.
and Tom. You're on your way.
Of course.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
Of
Win
course,
a date.
Borgata stands for Borgata be kidding me, where did my money go?
And now let's take our caller that we hope is on the air. Hello, caller. You're on the air with Funny Talk with Mangelli and Max. That's a lot of whiffs.
Hello?
Who? Wait a
Uh-oh.
minute.
Wait a minute.
Who do we have here?
Am I the winner?
Is this?
Is this DK?
It is.
Oh my God, D, you're famous.
Am I the winner?
You are
Yes,
the
you
winner.
are.
You're going to the
Congratulations.
lovely Borgata Casino with the lovely Tom Mangelli.
I can't win. I'm so excited.
Is that okay with you? The choice that our spinner made.
Can there be sausage and pepper sandwiches at the Borgata?
We can do that
Because
too.
How far
You really
is-
got me hooked on the sausage and pepper sandwich.
Me too.
Well, you know what? Point Pleasant's on the way home, so we can always hit that at night.
We could easily move that knife over to number 2 also.
Hey, if that makes you happy, we can.
You know
do
what
it.
would make her happy, I think, Tom? If
What?
you stuck with the Borgata Casino like you agreed to, but you pick up a sausage, pepper, and onion sandwich and you give it to her in the car.
We can
or
do
something.
that.
That would be really romantic.
Really?
No, that would be
It would be.
romantic. Really romantic has nothing to do with sausage, pepper, and
I
Depends-
think all romance should start from sausage and peppers.
Really? I love you already.
I'm so excited. This is going to be so much fun.
I'm so glad you were able to call in. I know you wake up early and you're normally in bed at this time, right? That's what I'm hoping
Yeah.
for anyway.
I had to set my alarm to wake up to call.
And you're
Aw.
normally in bed at this time? What have you been stalking her? How do you know these things?
Well, I don't want to say, how I know, but
Okay, no, you don't want to say how you know. There could be FBI agents listening or something.
yeah. Just don't think like Louis C.K. or anything like that.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So D, you mentioned you haven't been on a date in a while. Is that true? I
Yeah,
haven't.
long time.
I haven't either. Does the name Ronald Reagan ring a bell? He was president
Yes.
the last time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in his first administration.
The first term,
Yeah, but
his glory days.
who's?
Well, it'll be exciting. I think this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Tom, did you notice she speaks in complete sentences?
I noticed that. Congratulations.
I'm
Thanks.
sorry, D. I said that like you weren't listening, and then I realized that you were. But we're very impressed. We notice things like good grammar.
I want to mention that the decision wasn't even close based on the entrance. So congratulations.
It was close. Listen, emo girl.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Come on, muscle chick.
I've never won anything, so this
Really?
is really exciting.
Well,
Never in your entire life, like not even in 3rd grade, a participation trophy.
Never.
until you see your prize, I wouldn't get too excited.
Oh, your prize is huge.
See, the winner gets a date with Tom Mangelli. The loser gets 2 dates.
2 dates with who?
We'll arrange. We know many people that would make two dates horrible. Yeah. We
Wow.
should name names.
As long as there's just sausage and peppers, that was just really enticing.
All right. I'm glad you like sausage and peppers because that's a favorite of mine.
So D, have you ever been to Jimmy Buff's?
No, I don't know what Jimmy Buff's is.
Oh, it's like the oldest sausage, pepper, and onion sandwich in New Jersey. It's famous.
Wouldn't it be stale
wow,
by now?
This is exciting.
55 years they've been making it in vegetable oil. I don't think you can. I've been making it for my father, but I make it healthier with. I make it healthier.
We actually care,
Like-
Doug. We cared about that.
With olive oil? I don't know. Yeah.
Shouldn't I? I shouldn't be using that.
No, olive oil goes with
I don't-
everything.
Yeah.
I use olive oil for sunscreen.
You know something?
It probably gives you
It probably gives him what?
a nice smell. I just think that's probably a really nice cologne to wear.
I don't. Yeah. I don't tan. I baste.
I'm trying to think of what the joke is. So when he walks on the beach, who's following you?
The
Like
seagulls.
who likes the smell of olives? No, old Italian women follow
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, and
They
then
think
off,
there's pizza at the end of the rainbow.
and off in the distance I hear tuba music. So anyway, Deanna, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for picking me as a winner.
well,
I'm really excited. This is going to be so wonderful.
I think so too. We need to come up with a day that we can do this.
Yeah, hi. I'd like for you guys to play a song for me because I got a special date. This is a radio station, right?
Yeah, it is.
Hello?
Yeah, we'll play any
Yeah.
song you want. What do you want to hear?
I want to hear Indigata Davida.
Okay, hang
from
on.
my
Here
girlfriend,
Okay.
Peggy Sue.
Okay. Tom and I are going to do Indigata Davida with the Peggy Sue lyric. Okay, here we go. You ready, Tom?
Not
We
with
begin.
you or any other man.
Indigata
Stop spitting.
Davida, my Peggy Sue.
Thank
yeah,
you, Doug, and
baby.
please don't request any more songs.
Indigata Davida.
Anyway, this is Max. This is Max Ochoa again. How you
Max, sing with us. You suggested the song. Let's sing to Tom. He loves it.
doing? Indigata Davida. I
With
think
the
they were stoned
Peggy
when
Sue.
they wrote that song.
Peggy Sue. D, say hello to Max. Say goodbye. Listen, I did want to say something else about the date.
What?
Oh yeah. If you follow on Facebook, Tom and I, we've already planned. We're going to go out shopping to pick him up a nice wardrobe for a date, and we promise it's going to be very funny because I have some ideas
Doug,
about
do you
exactly
realize?
how Tom.
Do you realize
should
I
be.
have to shop at the Casual Whale?
I was thinking
A
of
zoot
going.
suit.
We were going to go to
A zoot
Cabela's. No, I'm going to Cabela's,
Yeah.
and we're going to pick you up a pup.
You're gonna go. Yeah. Do they have a clearance rack at Cabela's?
We'll take the rack.
Take the rack.
Yeah, we'll take the whole rack.
I'll take the soup. Now, what do you got tonight? You guys are talking about old time comedy.
Well, now that
themes?
we're
Is
done,
that what it was?
now that we're done with announcing the winner of the exciting win-a-date, yeah, Max, we've been talking. The premise of our show is talking and honoring and celebrating the comics Tom and I grew up with loving. Like, we started off with Abbott and Costello. We had Lou
Three
Costello's
Stooges.
daughter on. We
Three
did the Three
Stooges.
Stooges. We had Curly's Curly's grandson on. Great guy, Brad Server was on our show.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we both, our formative years were listening to the greats, so we thought we would honor and cherish them.
Who did you enjoy growing up, Max?
Well, if you want to know the truth, I grew up in a black neighborhood because my stepfather was black. I came over from Italy in 1959 and moved right into a black neighborhood, and my father was black. So we didn't really listen to. We did watch television. We did watch Three Stooges. I mean, they were wonderful. I mean, we loved them. And you know what? As much as people think they were politically incorrect, for hitting each other in the head, we didn't hit each other in the head back then. We pretended like they did.
Yeah, now
Right.
they really
know?
do.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they
So
shoot.
the comedians that I grew up listening to in my neighborhood were the party records that the neighbors used to listen to, and there were comics like Wild Man Steve. You've never heard of Wild Man Steve, have you?
Nope.
Great. We're
No,
going to
Google
talk
it.
about comedy legends that no one has ever heard of.
I'd like to talk about Doug Max.
But Wild
Yeah.
Man Steve was very popular in that was very popular in the black community.
Yeah.
And also Red Fox,
Red Fox,
Wanda
yeah.
Page.
Max, can we go back
Timmy
a little
Rogers. Have you ever heard of Timmy Rogers?
No.
bit? Kimmy Rogers.
Now, Timmy Rogers used to do a lot of Ed Sullivan shows. He was on Ed Sullivan a lot. And he would tell a joke, and then after every joke, he would say, "Oh, yeah."
Wasn't that the Kool-Aid guy?
Yeah, that was cool, guy, right?
Max, I want to go back. Your father was black, and you left Italy
My father was black.
in 1959?
Well, my real father died when I was 5 years old in Italy.
I'm sorry.
This was in 1958, and the year between 1958 and 1959, my mother put my sister and I in an orphanage.
Oh, wow.
And while we were there, my aunt, my mother's sister, who was already living in America, arranged a marriage, and my stepfather came to Italy and married my mom, and he brought all three of us, four of us,
bless.
to America.
Wow.
Back in 1959, and he was a black man, and back then it was, every time we went out as a family, we got it from both sides, but we definitely got it. And I grew up in a black neighborhood, and all my friends were white, and the white kids kept their distance for the most part, because of that.
Wow. So
I can go
where
on.
in
I can go
Italy?
on for hours about it.
Where in Italy?
What?
Where in Italy?
I was born in La Spezia,
And where about is that?
Liguria. That's vicino Genoa, between Genoa and Pisa. There's a city called La Spezia. Have you ever heard of Cinque Terre?
No.
I have.
No. Well,
I have.
Okay. Cinque Terre is a very popular tourist destination right now. When I was growing up, it was peasants lived there, but now it's very popular.
Well, all I know is
as
you're mentioning all these Italian city names, I know Tom is thinking they're all food names.
Si mangia bene in Cinque Terre, non mi rompere.
Well, when you said Genoa, I thought salami. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Genoa salami.
Anything near Genoa,
and Pisa,
I'm going to
what?
eat it. And Bologna.
And Pisa. Come on.
Bologna. Yeah. Anyway, Max, that's
Bologna.
really interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So the comics that I grew up as a child, of course, Bill Cosby. It's horrible what things that happened to Bill Cosby and what he did was
Kind
horrific.
of.
Well, he was horrific. But
He was.
when we were kids, I mean, when you talk to any comics from my generation, and Bill Cosby was, their inspiration. The guy was funny and clean.
But, I'm going to tell you something, and you'll remember this because I know how old you are now. I'm a little older than you. But I remember as a kid, I got frightened of Bill Cosby's turtle heads under the bed bit. His dad
Really?
used to frighten him and say, if you get out
Your
of
brother
bed,
Russell?
there are turtle heads underneath the bed and they're going to, eat you. And so I remember however old I was at an age where I was a little bit wondering if there were turtle heads under the bed.
Well,
and I hated Bill. He frightened me for a while.
Did you really hate Bill Cosby?
I didn't hate him, but I remember
I bet you can recite the whole Noah bit.
I always related to the Fat Albert character. For obvious reasons.
Anyway, you know something though? I'm sorry, but I hate to say it. That was then, and I personally have a policy. If I can't respect somebody as a person, once I find out about them, I don't want to spend a lot of time supporting or talking about them. And I hate saying that.
I understand it, but you do remember when we were younger, we didn't know any of this other stuff.
Yeah.
He was great.
Well, he didn't
but
have
now,
any of the drugs then either, probably. When we were talking about this on Facebook, you mentioned a wonderful comedy routine duo that I remembered loving, and I had totally forgot about for many, many years. And people would be surprised.
May and
Mike Nichols. And Mike Nichols of The Graduate fame. And what else did he produce? He directed...
he directed The Graduate.
The Graduate.
He directed a lot of movies, and I can't remember half of them. But Elaine May was brilliant, and so was Mike Nichols. And, they started an improv group called The Premise, which was, the guy who started Second City was part of that Premise thing. In fact, they were the inspiration
Not
for
surprised.
Second City.
I'm not surprised, and you
Really?
can tell how brilliant they both were. And I love
they
that
were
dry.
brilliant.
I love that dry
Now,
humor.
now this was what, the late 60s?
Early 60s.
Early 60s.
Early 60s, yeah. You Google Nichols and May Mother. It's one of the funniest
Don't
skits.
do it now, Tom.
ever.
You're on the air.
I know.
I have the. What was the name of the one you just said, Max?
Mother.
Mothers.
Mother.
Because I saw the
Mother.
one you'd sent the picture, and I saw it, and I can't remember what it was, but I saw a few of them. I couldn't stop. And I'm trying to think of where I saw them on TV. Were they on Ed Sullivan? Did they appear there? Or?
Yeah, they did everything on television.
All
Yeah,
of it,
back then,
yeah.
Ed Sullivan, Merv Griffin, they were around. They're brilliant. They were the hippest, cleverest, comedy team out there. I mean, yeah, Abbott and Costello was great. They were wonderful. They were very funny. We all loved them. Martin and Lewis, funny. I don't know if you call that a comedy team. Martin and Lewis, was that a comedy team? Sort of.
One of them was. No, it was. Listen,
Yeah.
it took a duo. Same
Well,
way
yeah, their
Carson and
stage act.
McMahon.
When they did their stage act, they were definitely a comedy
Yeah.
team.
In the same way, you think of Burns and Allen, even though Gracie was like the funniest. I don't know how it quite worked.
Exactly,
but,
Burns and Allen. They were very funny, but as far as being clever, Nichols and May, they were just out there. They were just,
Okay.
I do. So, do you remember?
They inspired a lot of.
As a kid,
Yeah.
what were the movies that you loved the most of all the ones that were airing all the time? Marx Brothers, Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy,
The Marx Brothers were great.
Buster Keaton.
W.C. Field.
I remember seeing Lloyd. What was his name?
Harold Lloyd?
Harold Lloyd. But that,
Harold
that
Lloyd,
stopped
yeah.
in the. He didn't do talkies at all, did he?
No, he didn't. He couldn't talk, but he was great, and he did all those stunts himself.
Yeah,
Hanging
some
from
amazing stuff.
Hanging from the
clock.
that.
I remember that, the clock tower. Yeah.
From the side of a building, he was actually hanging from a clock.
Yeah. I really admired the silent comedy comedians like Charlie Chaplin and Harold Lloyd and Buster Keaton.
You keep on saying that to me. Are you trying to tell me something?
You can actually remind me of. Who do you remind me of?
You know what's a great movie?
Harpo.
You know what?
You wish I would.
Was a great movie.
What's that?
The Entertainer with Sir Laurence Olivier.
Oh, really?
The Entertainer, and also probably one of my favorite movies. Well, my favorite movie of all time is a movie called La Strada. It's a
I know
Fellini
that
movie.
Fellini, yeah.
It's called La Strada,
Yeah.
but it's not a comedy.
I've seen it.
But A Face in a Crowd. Have you ever seen the movie A Face in a Crowd? Elia Kazan.
I
I
did.
know I've
Griffith?
seen it. I know I've seen it.
I know I've
Oh,
seen it.
Andy Griffith, the political story, right? Where he goes crazy as he's
Yeah.
trying to get elected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have vague recollections.
Yeah.
of it.
He's like a Richard Nixon kind of crazy guy. We've
Well,
got
no,
another
what
guy.
happens is he becomes a star. He's like a hobo, and they put him on a radio, and then he becomes a radio star, and then becomes a nationwide star. Everybody listens to him all the time, and then he says something stupid with the mic the mic was still on, and everybody started to and everybody hated him. But it's great. It's an Andy Griffith that you've never seen before.
So as you
Because
mentioned,
we all remember
Fellini,
him from. Yeah, we all remember him from being, Opie Taylor's father.
Yeah, right.
Mayberry. But
Oh, yes,
this
I
Andy
remember
Griffith
seeing
is
that.
like-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you said, Fellini, I remembered one of the funniest scenes I can ever remember in Amarcord, where a kid is up. We've got another caller on, so just pop him on, and we'll. Hello, caller. We're in the middle of a story. Hang on. We'll say hello in a second. Amarcord, there was a kid being punished at the blackboard. He was writing
Yeah.
at the blackboard,
Yes.
and they strung together straws from the back of the classroom, and a kid in the back of the class pissed in the straw, and so the stream, a pipe of urine went underneath the kid, and then they pulled the straw back, and the teacher looks and see the kid peed, but he didn't.
I hate when
pee,
that
he didn't know.
happens. So who do we have on the line?
I remember that scene. It's a great movie.
It's Jeff.
Jeff,
This is Bob Greenberg. How are you?
Bob
Hello,
Greenberg.
Hey,
Bob,
Bob.
Greenberg. How are you?
How are you,
Bob
Bob?
Greenberg.
Fine. How you doing?
Famous comedian,
Hello, Bob
comedy
Greenberg.
historian.
That's right.
Hey, and Jack Hoffman's here too.
And
My
Jack
God, everyone's
Hoffman.
here.
We have.
Oh my
Jack!
God!
Jack, one of my
Hey,
favorite
hey.
people.
Don't-
Hey, Jack.
don't-
Wait,
let
so
anyone
we
in
got. Wait,
here.
let's do a roll call. Tom, are you here, Tom?
I'm here.
Is Doug here?
I'm over here. I'm not where Tom
Oh, you're over
is.
there. Jack, you're there.
I'm here.
Okay, so in the
Oh,
order
and
that
Bob's
we
here.
were...
I thought
And Max.
we're a minion.
Who else?
Where's Maxie?
Okay, so
Oh, Max likes Jimmy Rogers. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm Jimmy.
Oh yeah. Shame on you boys for not knowing Jimmy Rogers.
Jimmy
Oh
Rogers.
yeah. You don't remember?
Who is Jimmy Rogers?
My introduction to these old comedians were my LPs, my albums.
Mm-hmm.
And I've still got that one album. I can picture it. I haven't looked at it in years, but Myron Cohen.
Oh,
And he's
yeah.
at like the
Oh, yeah.
Americana Hotel in New York or something.
My father
I've got
used to get...
Pat Cooper
Pat Cooper. Oh, we
in
grew
a
up
plate
with
of
Pat Cooper.
spaghetti. Remember that one? In a plate of spaghetti?
It's
And
actually
Alan Rossi,
spaghetti.
you remember Alan
It
Rossi
was
had a lot of
spaghetti
good
and other
albums,
delights.
Alan and Rossi.
I've got that album with the spaghetti in Pat Cooper.
Yep, me
This is
too.
Yeah.
Max, by the way.
You're making me think of an old album, You Don't Have to Be Jewish, that I loved. And it
Yes.
had all the great... Jack
Myron-
Guilford. Jack
Myron
Guilford
Cohen
was
was
on
funny.
it. I can't remember all the others, but... There were wonderful. And you know something else, Max, as you were talking about all the great comics, I was thinking of the movie. It's a wild.
No, it's a
World.
mad
world where
So it's a
all
Mad,
the
Mad, Mad
where
world, yeah.
like every great comic.
Dick
was,
Shawn.
But
Dick
Buster
Shawn.
Keaton
Oh.
was in that, right?
And
Buster
Dick
Keaton.
Shawn
everybody
died,
was-
died on stage performing. Actually died on stage performing.
Who?
Yikes.
Who did?
Dick Shawn.
Oh, Dick
Oh.
Shawn,
Yeah,
right.
his son,
right.
his son was the stage manager of the show, and he did a dying bit before the first act ended. He would have a fake heart attack. That was part of his shtick, and then he'd lay on the stage dead during intermission because he was just, he was avant-garde, Dick Shawn. And then he would wake up 15 minutes later when it's time for Act 2, and when he had the heart attack, his son, who was in the booth, thought to himself, first thing he thought, why is Dad jumping to the end bit? He's got 15 more minutes, and I had no idea he was really having...
Talk about dying
which
on
is such
stage.
an ironic story.
Yeah.
So,
And this
but
is Funny
that's
Talk
true.
with Mangelli and Max.
He played Hitler in The Producers. Remember that?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Sure
yes,
did.
yes.
Springtime.
Heil myself.
for Hitler and Germany.
Now, Doug, you
Don't
mentioned you don't have to be Jewish.
Yes.
Lou Jacoby.
There was a
Lou, that
There was a
was another one.
comedian.
Yeah.
Lou Jacoby was on that. Jack
A
Guilford
lot of
was
guys
on
were on
that.
that.
Jack Guilford, I said.
Yeah.
Betty Walker.
Yep.
Betty Walker. Joe
Yeah.
Silver. Now, but there's
Yeah.
also Bob McFadden.
Silva. Yes, Bob McFadden, right?
Bob McFadden.
Yep.
His son is doing comedy in New York right now.
Wow.
That's right.
I just
Yeah,
remember
what's
one
his
of them.
name?
I
Brian, isn't it?
don't think Will Jordan's on that. Yeah, Brian McFadden is still performing.
Yes.
And
Well,
he
so was
recently
Pat
visited. Will
Cooper.
Jordan was in the hospital, and he knew Will Jordan. I mean, Will knew his dad very well from doing all these LPs. So
How
yeah,
about
but
Arlene Galanka. Remember that name?
oh, I love her.
She's on-
Yes, yeah,
She's on Facebook. She is on Facebook.
yeah.
And meanwhile,
Yeah.
talking
Will
about the
Warren.
comedians that people actually
Who
know.
remembers Rusty Warren?
I don't remember.
Wasn't she
Rusty.
risque,
Do
right?
you
She
remember
was,
Rusty Warren? Remember Rusty Warren? Knockers Up?
Oh, yes, yes.
No.
Okay,
Bob
anybody
Greenberg.
else
You remember-
know
don't you
any
remember
comedy
Rusty
Rusty
legends?
Nail. I
of-
remember a Rusty Nail I stepped on once.
Rusty Nail, yeah.
Okay, any other
Rusty
names
Warren
of comics
was
nobody
one of
knows?
the first women.
Who?
How about Mom's Mabley?
Of course.
Maybe.
Mom's Mabel.
Wow, that goes
I
back.
have movies with her back in the 40s when she was an actress. She used to be called something else, Mabel. They didn't call her Moms then. But there's movies of her when she was an actress back in the 40s. I think one movie was called, oh, God, what's the name of that movie? But there was a couple movies. You can Google it and you'll find it if you Google her name.
Well, you know something? You guys are all such experts. We're going to find out what you know.
I'm going to ask each of you a
Sure.
question. So,
Where's
Jack,
the basket? And and they'll all answer.
Jack, I'll ask you the first one. I have 4 categories. Who said it? Which one was it? Whose movie was it? And who played the character? Jack, which category? Would
Robin Williams.
My memory is so bad. Who said it?
All right, who said it? This is the easiest of the 4 categories. All right,
Thank God.
I'll read the first one. Here's another fine mess you've gotten me into.
Oliver Hardy.
Oliver Hardy, very good.
But I have to
Okay,
correct you, though.
Yes.
You really said a nice mess.
Say
But
again?
it's been always
Right.
quoted incorrectly.
Really?
It's always been quoted incorrectly. Yep.
Only once did he actually say fine mess, which was on the radio, because it had been misquoted so much that he was like, all right, and he says, well, here's another fine mess. But watch all the movies. It's another nice mess. Interesting, huh?
Very good to
You
know.
certainly have.
And don't call me fatty.
Okay, Bob Greenberg. Who said it?
Bob Greenberg. Who said it? Which one was it? Whose movie was it? Or who played the character? Which category?
What is it?
Bob,
Bob,
Yes.
wake
Yeah,
up,
he
Bob.
wants what
pick a
is it?
category.
Pick a category.
You want me? You gonna ask me a question?
Yes, I'm
I have
asking
to do
you.
a category.
Yes,
Yeah, pick a category.
Comedy.
comedy.
Yeah, okay. For the comedy category,
All right, I'll give you which one was it?
Who said it? Who said it? If you
Oh,
want.
who said
whatever.
it?
Yeah, go for
All
it.
right, who said it? Sometimes a he is a better mother than a she.
Oh, well, that's Bud Abbott, of course.
Very good,
It
Bud
ain't
Abbott.
me. 1943. Mm-hmm.
Look at him. He always adds extra. I love that. All right. Max, what category would you like? Who said it? Which one was it? Whose movie was it? Or who played the character?
Oh, you pick it. I don't care because
All right.
I don't know. You guys, this is waiting for my time. Go ahead.
All right. Whose movie was it?
Okay.
The Wistful Widow of Wagon Gap.
I know.
Go ahead, Bob. Tell me. I have
Abbott and
no idea.
Costello, 1947. Marjorie May.
Costello.
Abbott and Costello,
Was
The
it?
Wistful Widow of Wagon Gap.
Marjorie May.
That's right. Very good. All right. Who else do we
I
have
knew
on
the
the line?
other questions. I knew the other ones.
All right.
Does that count?
no. You know something we haven't asked. I want to ask both Bob and Jack. We talked to Max about this. Your favorite movie from way back when? Favorite comedy movie of way back when, or team from the great
Duck
days?
Soup. I never miss it.
Duck
Okay,
Soup.
lovely movie.
One
Wonderful.
of my favorites.
Yeah, Duck Soup's a great movie. My favorite movie changes all the time. Sometimes it's Blockheads with Laurel and Hardy. Sometimes it's Way Out West. Laurel and Hardy often gets my vote usually for the.
I'm sorry, Bob.
And then recently,
Is that your final
The Bank
answer?
Dick with W.C. Fields was a great film.
Oh, The Bank
Also-
Dick. Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody picked Chaplin. Not so
Well,
funny.
I mean, Chaplin made a lot of great. I mean, Modern Times. I remember when they re-released Modern Times when I was 11 or 12. It was the first time I ever went to a movie and laughed out loud like
Really?
crazy. You know what I mean? Like the belly laughs.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Modern Times is also a great one.
All right,
Charlie Chaplin.
that's a good topic. My movie that I laughed at for the first time out loud was Young Frankenstein. What?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's funny.
Yeah. What were the movies that you first laughed out loud at? Max, Jack.
Oh, you're talking to me? Oh. Oh,
Mine was Modern Times.
God.
All right, Bob's Modern Time. Mine was Young Frankenstein.
Anything Mel Brooks, definitely, is laugh out loud funny. No two ways about it.
Okay.
I can tell you, as a kid, I can remember the first time I laughed out loud. I was watching Jack and the Beanstalk with Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello.
And in the beginning, Lou is picked up by Buddy Bear, in the black and white segment, and he says something to Lou, and Lou puts on a baby voice, like, okay, Daddy. This is kind of like a baby voice. All right, Daddy. And he blows a kiss. I thought that was the funniest thing. I don't know how old I was, but I remember laughing and going, what was that? I laughed, and I was like, what was that?
That was Costello's early
lady
shtick
killers.
when he was still in grade school. That's where he got the "I'm a bad boy."
Yeah, he put on that voice and did a little kissy thing, and I thought that was the funniest thing. And I must have been 4 or 5. I was very small.
The Lady Killers.
The
Oh,
lady.
that's a great movie.
Alec Guinness? I
Yes,
love
The
it.
Lady
This guy-
Killers. Peter Sellers.
What was the movie with the Alec Guinness where he had the 2 American soldiers and he kept them for years after the war?
Was that an
Oh,
X-rated movie?
isn't that Robert Redford's in the basement? It's Robert Redford.
He was
and
one of the
somebody
prisoners,
else?
yeah. But Alec Guinness was the old
Ooh.
German soldier that kept them.
I don't remember.
Everything.
I remember
something
the
like
movie
everything
vaguely.
is a situation normal. Everything, something like that. I think it was called that.
I don't know that
Situation dangerous. Everything normal. Everything. I'll find it. I'm gonna find anyway.
We forget that Alec Guinness was like the premier English comedian. He did The Man in the White Suit. I don't know if anybody remembers
Oh,
that
of course
film.
I do. The Ealing Studios.
Guinness is funny.
Ealing Studios.
Yeah, he did. He did.
You asked me.
And
You asked me what my. Oh,
Yes. Go ahead.
It was. I remember. When I was a kid, we went to the drive-in with my parents. Took us to the drive-in movies, and I remember actually laughing out loud for the first. A Shot in the Dark with Peter Sellers.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to
Yeah,
bring
great
up
film.
Peter
I've come
Sellers.
to inspect the pool. The pool.
Peter
Yeah.
Sellers was so brilliant.
Elkie Summer, boy, yeah.
You know, in his
Oh.
last movie, Being There, also brilliant.
Chance,
Mhm.
Chance
Is that the
Gardner.
movie where he doesn't talk?
No, Being There.
No, he talked. He
He's Chauncey Gardner.
channeled Stan
Yeah.
Laurel. He plays a
He's
sort of
like a
very
5-year-old
quiet
kid.
character.
Yeah.
But my favorite
Right.
movie was the one where he played 5 actors, The Mouse That Roared. You remember that?
Right. Yes, of course.
Oh yeah.
Wait, that was Peter Sellers, right? Or was that Alex Guinness?
Remember the
That was
party? The movie.
Well, Alec
Party?
Guinness played
The 5
an
roles,
earlier film
the
with the
Duchess, the
Yeah.
Duchess, and
but the Peter Sellers did it in the
That was the
right
Mouse
in
That
the
Roared.
Mouse That Roared.
Right.
In the party, didn't Peter Sellers play an Indian guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he did do the Indian. You couldn't get away with that today. Yeah, he did play an Indian actor.
No,
Yeah.
but it was
Could not
funny.
get away with it today. It was
It
funny.
was so funny.
He was
I'm
an
gonna
extra
give
in
you
this
a
big
clue.
scene. Yeah. And he's wearing a wristwatch. He's supposed to be like a Lawrence of Arabia scene with a big explosion in the very beginning of the movie, and he's wearing some Timex wristwatch. And you see his hand with the whole cake.
Okay, Jack, I heard you say you wanted to give us a clue, and I need a clue. Everybody tells me that. So
There's a movie that to me is still laugh out loud funny, probably 50 years after it came out, and the clue is it's under the letter W.
Oh, it's a mad
Yeah.
world.
we
Oh,
were-
it's
yeah.
Mad World.
Mad World. Yeah, Mad World.
Definitely.
three and a half
It's under a W.
hour movie.
It's under a W.
I would love them to re-release the uncut version of that because it's so chopped up when you see it on TV. It was,
Yeah, it's hard.
You know,
they have a couple. They have an in-between version, but the original version, which has a whole other scene with Buster Keaton and a donkey, it's missing. And they have some soundtrack of some of the other scenes, but a lot of it's just missing because the film went from like 4 or 5 hours to like 4 hours to 3.5 hours. You know what I mean? And it was in Cinerama. You know, it was one of those Cinerama experiences.
yeah.
So you just
you
reminded
might-
me
you know.
of a great other
That
movie.
that'd be a perfect film to bring back to the theaters for these special events. I went to see The Wizard of Oz. I went to see Jaws. You know, in the last couple of years in IMAX or whatever. That would be a perfect film to bring back in its original version.
And the
It's just so.
Anyway, I was just going to say the
sad.
producers. You were making me think of
The original
Zero.
materials are lost. You know.
And then I thought of a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. Also, Buster Keaton. was
Oh,
in that
yeah, he
movie.
was
Yes,
in that.
he's
Right?
brilliant.
Very
Zero Mostel, and then
Zero.
the producers. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Zero Mostel was brilliant.
He
Brilliant.
really is.
Oh, my English teacher in high school told me a story of waiting. She saw the play on Broadway with Zero Mostel, the producers, and they waited afterwards to have him come out. And he came out after the show wearing a T-shirt, a dirty undershirt, she said. A cabbie pulled over. He waved a cab. A cabbie pulled over, took one look at him, and drove off. Wouldn't pick him up. And I totally get that
Dom
because I can see
DeLuise
him.
was brilliant too in the 12 Chairs. Do you remember the 12 Chairs? Also a Mel Brooks movie.
I know-
Ron Moody and Frank Langella and Dom DeLuise, and DeLuise was hysterical.
Yeah, I need to watch that again. I haven't seen it in a long time.
That was the follow-up to the
Jack
producers, and nobody
Is Jack
remembers
still
it.
with us? Hey, Jack, you still with
Oh,
us?
and then we ought to talk about
Sure.
Silver Streak with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder was brilliant.
Gene Wilder.
A lot of, and they did a couple movies together. Something or other, I think.
Yeah.
Scared Stiff, was
No,
it?
I
Or
don't-
Scared
The
Straight,
one,
or-
the one where they go to prison. What was the name of that?
See No Evil. See No Evil, I think, might have been the last one, I think. There was one of them was blind, one was deaf.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Right.
Silver Streak.
Driving in the car. Remember that?
Oh, Stir Crazy. Stir
Stir
Crazy was
Crazy,
the big one, the real
Yeah,
big
yeah.
one. Yeah, Stir Crazy. That was directed by Sidney Poitier.
Oh.
Yeah,
Very
and Bruce J.
cool,
Friedman.
very
Bruce
cool.
Friedman's father wrote the original screenplay.
Okay, so listen, we talked about comedy legends. I'm just gonna ask, only one answer, none of this. It's between two. Favorite comedian. First answer counts.
Bob, I think I.
Who you
I'm
asked?
going with Andy Kaufman. I just yell out your answers. I'm going with Andy Kaufman. I don't know why.
You're talking about
Okay.
excluding the people on the phone.
all-
Contemporary comedian,
you
or
can name
or-
yourself.
Anybody.
Well, you can, if you're a narcissist, name yourself. It's okay.
No, I
Well,
would
Buddy Hackett. I remember laughing at Buddy Hackett. I thought he
Buddy
was
Hackett.
live. Buddy Hackett
Buddy
was
Hackett,
phenomenal.
Andy Kaufman. Who else we got?
Carlin.
Okay,
George
good answer.
Carlin.
George Carlin.
Carlin. Yeah.
Ronnie Shakes.
Who was that?
Ronnie Shakes.
I remember Ronnie Shakes.
Ronnie Shakes. Ronnie
Max
Shakes
finds them,
was-
I'm telling you.
Max,
No,
give
I'm
us a
just-
line
you know,
from Ronnie
just
Shakes because I never
I
heard
see
of him.
these guys like
London
I see
Lee. No, not.
London Lee. No, Ronnie
Lee,
Shakes
yes.
is funny. He died young. Well, I think London Lee's dead now too.
Okay, well that's
Yeah, he
good.
died a couple years ago.
London Lee.
Tom, you have a favorite comic of all
Hey,
time other than me?
Well,
Or
Abbott
you?
and Costello was always on the top, but Rodney Dangerfield does it for me.
Oh yeah.
And I see that fitting
Rodney
with your
was
style
great.
of comedy.
Jack Roy. Jack
Yep,
Roy.
that's his real name.
No, his real name is Jacob Cohen. His
Oh,
real
really?
name is Jacob Cohen, but when he went into comedy back in the 50s, he went under the name of Jack Roy. He
That's
used to
right.
work the Catskills,
Right.
but he couldn't get any work because he was horrible. Nobody liked him.
Yeah, he
Doug's
went into the
laughing 'cause
aluminum
he can
siding
relate.
business.
I'm thinking,
And after
okay,
he
he
did
hit him.
aluminum siding,
he
he became
hit
another
his
comedian, and he
Jewishness
came
in
back. He came back. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
Ronnie
He hit his
Dangerfield.
Jewishness.
His
You
friend,
thought that would work, but problem was
George
he wasn't
Schultz,
funny.
who opened up Pips, was also a comic. He used to go under the name of Georgie Starr. And George, when I
Wow.
used to work at Pips, George told me, and I heard it from other people, but George told me that his tagline used to be, "I don't get no respect." And when Rodney went back into the business, he said, "Why don't you take my tagline?"
Really?
It never worked for me.
Wow. Listen,
Wow.
guys, listen,
And he
we've got
ran with
to
it.
we've got to work on wrapping
Yeah.
things up as quickly as it seems. Time went very, very quickly, so thank you all for that. But first, before we lose any of you, let's find out what's going on. What would you like to promote? Pitch.
Well, I'll be at the Triad Theater this Saturday night with Ian Finkel. He is the world's greatest xylophone player and his band, and I'll be
You
doing.
say hello.
And I'll
You
be
say
doing.
hello to Ian for me, will you? Will you?
Sure,
Tell
sure.
him Max is hi.
Isn't Zamfir
Yeah, so
on that show?
he is fantastic, and I'll be doing comedy. He'll be doing music, and that's this Saturday at the Triad Theater.
You
on
know what would be
72nd Street in
funnier?
Manhattan.
Let him play.
If you did music and he did comedy.
Let him
I
play.
know. Well, he's very funny too, and I'd be pretty funny playing the xylophone, I must say. But
Oh my
but
God!
he's great.
Ian, this is Ian. You see all these people in here? I hate all of them. I hate all of them.
Max, you got
He's
anything
great.
coming up you want to promote, talk about?
Well, I'm working in Hartford. I'm doing a private party. But Saturday night, I'm performing at the Catherine Hepburn Theater in Connecticut, wherever it is.
Wherever
The
it is.
Catherine Hepburn Theater.
Nice.
Wow. Nice.
Lovely.
And then Sunday I'll be in Wanacue doing a. I think I'm working a temple.
Okay.
Okay, well, try to
Oh,
try to figure it out before you bring out your.
You're like the old comedian that says it's great to be here in this wonderful town. I love this town. And he opens up his jacket. Chicago. I love being here in Chicago.
and
Anyway, Thursday night I'm in Hartford, and Saturday night I'm at the Catherine Hepburn Theater, and then I'm in Wanacue Sunday this week. But it doesn't matter anyway because you can't get into these private places anyway. But I will be at the Katharine Hepburn Theater Saturday night, and I think it's in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. It's where Katharine Hepburn used to perform all the time.
Wow.
She
How
had-
nice.
Oh, I should plug the Actors Temple. I have an Actors Temple comedy benefit actually a week from Sunday, June 30 at the Actors Temple. Bernie Burns, who was a veteran Catskills comic, will be on the bill, and a lot of great comics will be on the bill. It's a benefit.
June 3rd.
That's a great name for a fireman.
Bernie Burns is
remember
going to be
that
90
name.
years old. Yeah, Bernie
I
Burns.
remember that
Yeah, we always.
name. Yeah.
So
Oh,
what
we
does
have an
J
old-timer
J.
on
Irwin
here.
Productions have coming up?
Oh yes.
Oh, well.
Tell him, Jay.
I've got this week Thursday, right in River Edge, New Jersey, at a new Indian restaurant, Monsoon. I've got Vince August, the comedic judge, and I've got Mehul Patel. So we have an Indian comedian at the Indian restaurant. That'll be great. But Thursday, June 7th.
And
This is a date to remember.
and how do we get
I'm doing a
tickets to
Borscht
that?
Belt. I'll tell you on both.
Okay.
Thursday, June 7th, we're doing a Borscht Belt tribute. I've got headlining Steve Marshall. I've got the incomparable Dave Koenig. I've got George Saltz. I've got hosting Gladys Simon. And the one and only, I saved him for last, I've got Bob Greenberg. This is at the
Yay.
76
That's right.
House.
That's a good show.
Wow,
That's a
I
great
can't
show.
think of
That
hardly
is going
any
to be
better
a
a
show for the ages.
Nice
It's gonna be
lineup.
fantastic.
And
It might also
I'm
be
looking
a show
forward to
for
it.
the aged. Now, anyone can find out. Yeah, you heard that. Anyone can find out how to get tickets for either of these shows by going to J. Irwin Productions on Facebook.
wonderful. Guys, thank you all very much for calling in. It's been wonderful.
Thank you.
And
It's over. That's
well,
it. That's all.
now I get
That's
to
what we're
pitch what I'm doing because I got stuff. I get to pitch me a little bit.
Of course.
So I'm going to be at Greenwich
Bob
Village
and,
Comedy
Bob and
Club.
Jack, nice working with you guys again.
Max, what's your last name, Max?
Dolcelli.
Arrivederci,
Okay.
Max. Thank you, Bob.
Arrivederci,
Jack,
Max.
Max.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Okay,
y'all.
guys.
Great
Thank-
show.
And
Thank you, fellas. Zagazon.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
You too.
Peace
Bye.
out. Peace
That
out.
was that was Yiddish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
So I'll be at the Greenwich Village Comedy Club this Saturday night, 6 o'clock, and then I'm going to be competing with the Borscht Belt, I think, because I've got a funniest Jewish comedian contest on June 3rd at Broadway Comedy Club, where I'll be competing against presumably Jewish comics. I don't know how they check at the door.
They see if you're circumcised.
Well, that's what they might. I don't know if they check at the door. And then you and I, we booked a show way in advance, July 26th together.
That's right. We're going to be at the Old Canal Inn in Nutley, 7:30 show. If you're around, come on down. And is that you have any other ones? I have nothing in June. I'm chock full of shows in July. July 13th, it's a Friday the 13th. Take 5 Cafe in Robbinsville, New Jersey, 7:30 show. Wednesday, July 18th, Brookdale Tavern in Bloomfield. Friday, July 20th, Leatherhead Pub in Egg Harbor. It's an 8 o'clock show. And Thursday, July 26th, the Old Canal Inn in Nutley with Doug and I.
And others. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
So,
We're just about done. We want to thank you for tuning in to Funny Talk with Mangelli and Max.
wait a minute. No. We've 2 minutes, and you have a roller skating story to tell us very, very quickly, Tom.
Oh, you
1
want the
minute.
roller skating story?
1 minute.
All right,
roller skating.
picture this. High school, 1978. I'm on roller skates for the first time, mind you. There must have been this sadist who designed the men's room at this roller rink because he pitched the floor away from the urinals. Picture it. I'm at the urinal. The jet stream, the pitched floor, me trying to stay on my feet. All I can think of is don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Meanwhile, I'm 4 feet from the urinal at this point, trying to keep the pitch on the right angle so it hits something porcelain. But anyway, it didn't end well. There was another incident at that same roller rink. They had an island in the middle of the roller skating floor, and they had all pinball machines. Well, my friends and I, there was like 8 of us, We soon ran out of quarters, so they all gave me their nickels and dimes to go get change. Now, mind you, Lou Costello on skates with a handful of nickels trying to stay on my feet. Well, guess what? It didn't happen. And all the nickels flew up in the air, ended up on the floor, and as people were hitting the nickels, they were stopping short and just like falling. It was like a car. It was like a 14-car collision. It was horrible. Oh, the humanity. That's my story.
And also, we should thank Inga from Holland, who wrote us a very nice email.
What did Inga write?
She wrote, I love Funny Talk with Mangelli and Max more than tulips. More than tulips. She's from Holland. Press a button. Guys, thank you so much for listening.
I'm Tom Mangelli.
And I'm Doug Max.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks when our guest will be...
Jenna Ritz?
Yes, of the Ritz Brothers.
Of the Ritz Brothers.
If you're not familiar with the Ritz Brothers,
Look
tune
it
in 2 weeks, and we'll be here. Hopefully you will be too. Thanks, and have a good evening.